Well, we've made it, I think. Didn't think we were going to make it at one point, but it looks as though we have. I've had loads and loads and loads of problems, but we got there. From earlier on in the week, I'd reduced the frame rate to 15 frames per second, and I was having problems with VLC on OpenTuner not liking me, and it all ended up being I increased it to 30 frames per second, and it suddenly liked me. The clock would stop ticking, and lots of errors. So I haven't thanked everybody that the satellite people, etc., 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 that's made it all possible, and Gary for all his support. And I will mention that obviously Gary's not able to do it because lightning has taken out his station completely. So their commiserations to Gary, and I know he's busy work-wise. It doesn't help, but hopefully he'll be back doing the net in the future. But I think the aim is to try and get different people to do it at different times, so as you get a different flow. I had a full head of hair when I started, but I've lost it. The one thing this morning I thought, because I knew Gary would ask me for a link to the streaming that I'm doing via my JKE SRT repeater on YouTube. So I put WhatsApp on the computer, so I thought it'd be easy because I've got it on the phone, but it's not as easy to operate. And I'll be able to drop the link in there. That was a mistake. That messed absolutely everything up. Things were going, I couldn't, in OBS, I would go from one link to another and the stream would disappear. Restart OBS. So we've deleted WhatsApp from the computer. Talk to Gary occasionally and my son, but it'll be quite happy for the phone. During the week, etc., I had my usual contacts with the VK boys, and they've been up to a lot of activity there. So being I'm starting the net, I'm going to play the video in a minute, but before I do that I ought to see who's actually logged in. Let's have a look at if I get things in the right order. We get that one. No, that's the wrong screen I'm putting here. I'm making a mess of it all before we even started. That's the one I want. So if we go into there, and we want to make it a bit bigger. I did put a crop filter in. So that's who I've got on the list at the moment. I haven't heard Leon around, but I'll put it over to Leon to start with once I've played the video. So if he doesn't come up, perhaps Nick would take it. And Phil's there to give me support, and Mike, he'd been putting some good pictures through. I did notice earlier in the week when I was having problems, in OBS I had VLC in one window, FFmpeg in another, and MPV in another. And you likewise had loads of errors on the VLC side, but the other two were locked, and even the ride was locked, which I'm using for the streaming, which seems to work exceedingly well. So we'll go back to the camera before I lose my way, shall we say. Right, I think we're in control of things. Yeah, so I'm going to play a video. It's about 10 minutes. So you can, if you've seen it before, apologies. It's got a lot of movement in it, and I did struggle to stream it the other day, but it's well worth it. I think the starts off very dark, but thanks to VK3IE Rob for starting streaming it through to me on the SRT repeater that I run. Then followed up and got it downloaded in here so we can put it on. And the thing I like most of all is the fun that's being had in amateur radio. So let's give it a go, as I said, it does start very dark. From G8KOE, over to the video.
So it's 5 AM here at the moment. I've gotten up at 4 o'clock because tropospheric ducting is on today. Well, it looks like it's going to be on. The Hepburn charts look really good, so we might get some propagation across to the mainland here from Tasmania. So we're getting up nice and early before the sun rises so that we can try and take advantage of that. So I'm on my way now to our local mountain, our highest spot, to see if we can get any propagation going. So come along with me and we'll see if we can work anyone. This is one of the perks of getting up at this time, even to play radio. Look at that sunrise, absolutely stunning. Look at that, you can see the inversion layer as well. See out there? It looks like a dirty bit of cloud, but see how you've got that layer in between? So you've got like a clean bit. I'm not explaining it very well. Looks like two clouds, the dark bit at the bottom, a little bit dark bit at the top, and then a clear bit of air in the middle. That's the duct. Absolutely amazing. All right, we'll keep going up. I've got the dishes and the antennas and the grid packs. We've got a couple of mates of mine, Murray and VK7ZMS and Tricky, VK7ZBX. They are both heading up, and we've got the field day van, which we use for VHF, UHF field days, because it's already all set up for VHF and UHF, which is what we want for Tropo. So let's keep on going and see who we can work. Murray's just setting up the telescopic mast with all of the antennas on at the moment. Oh, g'day.
I have some 10 meg reference here.
10 megs?
10 megs.
10 megs?
What's that coming in for? 10 gigs?
10 gigs.
Oh, you want 10 megs out? Yeah.
Oh, right. Where does that plug into?
Yeah.
Ah, right. So we're transmitting whisper at the moment to see who's hearing us. We're setting up 1296, 10 gigs, 2.4, 3.4, all the bands. So we've just plugged in the 10 gig dish and we're just lining up to VK3. We've got the outdoor speaker running so we can hear the beacon, and Tricky's just peeking up on it. That's about that's over 500 Ks away on 10 gigs.
Try a little bit of elevation.
Strong.
A little bit of QSP, I think.
Yeah, a bit of QSP. We're also hearing 1296 and 2 metres and 70 centimetres.
That's pretty strong.
I got whisper, that is pretty strong.
That's pretty strong.
Alright, maybe we should set up 2.4 and 3.4.
37 OC. VK3 UK from VK7 to the X over.
No worries at all, VK7 ZBX, and what was your grid locator again? 37?
Oscar Charlie, VK QE37 Oscar Charlie, over.
No worries at all, I'm in QE32 Tango Echo at Bairnsdale. Not a problem at all. Yeah, alrighty. Well,
Did you say you
I've got 70 and I've got 1296 here at the moment going.
Mike Sierra.
VK7 ZMS, VK3 Echo Kilo, about 5 and 5, Murray, about 55 going.
He's about 5 and 1.
Roger, Roger. About 5 and 1 here, about 5 and 1, but good copy, good copy.
Yeah, give me a bit longer over and I'll just peek the dish, buddy. 55, Murray, not a worry at all. No, I haven't seen a photo yet. What's it, just a field day in Tassie, is it?
No, not a field day. We've just got what we call the field day van out. It's a van we've got with a telescopic mast and a whole
It's good signal.
batteries and shells fitted inside for
So,
our portable.
while Murray's working on 1296, 1.2 gigs, we've set up 5.8, but we're not really here in the beacon on 5.8, but we don't know how sharp that dish is. We think it's probably could be a bit sharp, couldn't it?
5 by 3, over.
Roger, good square is 31 Golf Oscar, QS31 Golf Oscar, Mount Tasco, brother.
This is on 3.4 gigs.
Roger, got your QF31 Golf Oscar. We are QE37 Oscar Charlie. QE37 Oscar Charlie, over.
So, QSL, the Oscar Charlie, not a problem. Very good, you just QS speed up a bit there, so it's a lot better than what we started with, so yeah, very good. VK7ZBX, VK3WRE portable.
Yeah, Roger. Thanks, Ralph. Really love the contact, mate. Good stuff. I'll hand you over to Murray. 73.
So that's pretty good. 3.4 gigs.
Just need more power.
More power is always the answer. You got 30 watts on 10 gigs.
Yeah. We need to investigate because really there's only 20 watts.
Oh, it's getting loud now.
20 watts out of those purple people.
Yeah. That's 5 by 5.
Excellent. You're 5 by 5.
Ran into you.
Over 5 by 5.
We've got, look at all this stuff that's going on here. We got cables going everywhere. They got cars going past on the side of the road, and they're all like, "What the hell are these guys doing?"
Oh, that's excellent. I'm excited. That's my first 9 centimetre contact across Bass Strait.
You got your first contact on 3.4 across Bass Strait.
Oh, and I'm wearing my booties.
Well, it is cold up here.
5 by 1. 73.
Quick, Murray. This is 5.7 gigs
Okay,
to VK3 with 2.5 watts.
It's the first VX we've actually worked on our transmitters.
And of course, Murray gets on there and he's disappeared. Give him a whistle at the end so he knows. Oh.
VK3 whiskey 1 echo. VK3 whiskey 1
Give him a whistle so he can tell you finished you over. Can't whistle. Next time we give the mic to Murray first. Well, got absolutely attacked by all of the flies and the mozzies and everything, but I'd call that a success.
Oh, yes.
Got to be happy with that.
That's a resounding success.
Resounding success.
We need more action from Mr. Hepburn.
Yeah. The tropospheric ducting forecast.
Perhaps you should write to him and ask him for better conditions.
I'll put a link for those who want to learn how to use Hepburn to detect tropospheric ducting openings, so you can play around on VHF and UHF. And another video over Richard's face about the field day van, which is what we used today, which is another winner.
Pretty good fun.
Another winner.
Nice.
Hold on, we've done this whole day and this whole video, and you've had my shirt on, but you've had a jumper on the whole
It's been a
time.
bit cold up till now.
Oh dear.
Well, that's it. Hope those that have seen it before, I apologise to them, but there'll be a lot of people that won't have seen it. I used it, did a lot of tests. It highlighted problems that I had with getting my system working. But anyway, so I don't know whether you're there, Leon. Hopefully you are. ZS1 Mike. I'll put it over to you in a minute. If you're not, perhaps Nick, you could take it, G4 IMO. So ZS1 Mike. Fingers crossed to take it, G8KOE.
Okay, thanks Martin. G8 KOE in the group, ZS1 Mike saying hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are. Fantastic video that Martin. Really interesting. No, I haven't seen it yet, and yeah, we can only hope for things like that here in South Africa. There's hardly 70 centimeters communication. There's lots of 2 meters, but anything above 70 centimeters is absolutely science fiction here. And especially where I live, it's huge mountains right around me. So yeah, you cannot. They're all helicopter sites if you want to get on top of those big mountains. But anyway, that's why QO-100 is so absolutely fantastic to us here. And I'm still the only operator here in Worcester. Trying to get another fella going, but it's going slow. So yes, fantastic video, very nice, and I'm sure they really enjoyed it, those guys. Okay, if the overs are short, I'll stand by for a couple more, and then I'll hit the road. It's only a couple of weeks. End of February, I should be back here permanently, retiring again. Right, Nick, over to you. G4 IMO for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Yeah, okay, Leon. Hang on, I'm just trying to get my Yeah, okay, Leon. Hang on. I'll turn that down. Trying to get my level right. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. Anyway, good afternoon to everybody. Let me just see what my lip sync is like. Hang on a minute. Let me just see what my lip sync is like. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I tried it earlier and lip sync was miles out. And interestingly enough, when I went into OBS and I did this to check my lip sync, it showed that it was all right. It was absolutely synchronized. But when I went to the camera, it was about 2 seconds out, even more. So from that I concluded that there was something wrong with OBS. So I shut it down and restarted it, and lo and behold, it was more or less okay. It's not far out now anyway. But I haven't altered any of the settings, so it's obviously something peculiar in OBS. But anyway, yeah, okay, Martin, thanks for that video. It was yeah, excellent. I saw it. I think you played it. Did you play it on the last week? I can't remember. I have seen it before, but I had trouble viewing it last time. But this time was 99.9%. It's very good. And yeah, and yeah. Thanks for running the net, Martin. Well done there. I should think your stress level is probably quite high at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, what have I been up to? Well, it's been very cold here, but I did manage to get out to the workshop. And I've been working on my my controller for the ham TV thing, my long-term project. I've been doing this for over a year now. Anyway, so this is what we've got so far. This is the little controller. It's a LCD display, and I've got 4 push buttons on the front, 2 for azimuth, left and right, and 1 for elevation, up and down. So you can control it manually if you want, and you've got fine adjustment to 1 degree manually. You've got some rotary encoders here as well. But that's what I've been working on, and I looked at various software, what people were using, and one of them was K3NG. I looked at that. Very comprehensive, but I had an Arduino Uno here, and if you just wanted it as a manually operated controller, it would work okay on the Uno. But if you wanted it to communicate with the computer, the memory size of the Uno wasn't sufficient, so that wasn't any good. So I looked on the net, the internet, and there's a lot of programs on there. Some of them are not designed for AC motors, and not all of them use potentiometers for the elevation and azimuth. But I found a chap in, he's an amateur in Romania, Yankee Oscar 3 Romeo Alpha Kilo. If you just search for him, he's on YouTube. But he did a controller, and it's his software which I've used, or firmware that I've loaded onto the Arduino, and it's relatively simple to use, so I can understand it basically. I've got a little video here which I will show if I can find it. I go on here. So yesterday I was tracking a one of these low orbit Earth satellites, and I've got the thing tracking within 1 degree. When I ran the program initially, if the satellite moved sort of for 4 degrees, then and only then would it move the rotator. Well, I suppose that's okay if you're using a Yagi or something on 2 meters and you want to track it. But if you want to use this for ham TV, which is what I want to do, you want it more accurate. And this is the serial information coming from Orbitron, which is controlling the Arduino, and so that's that. Anyway, so it all seems to be working. There is a calibration procedure that I need to set on there, but it's pretty accurate at the moment, and I'm hoping, well, hopefully the sun will come out and I can see how accurate it is tracking the sun. But the problem at the moment is this latitude here. We're 52 degrees north here, and at the moment at noon the sun is only getting to 21 degrees elevation, and there are various obstructions in the way, so hopefully in a few weeks time I should be able to track it, so that'll be good anyway. Yeah. Oh, Martin, you mentioned, going back to that video that you just showed, I used to watch the Australian, the VK nets in the early morning. Have they changed the time of those? I keep looking. I think it was on a Tuesday morning at about 9 o'clock. I think I was in the shack. I used to watch those, but I've been looking, but I haven't seen them. So either they've changed the schedule or something. I don't know. But anyway, just a couple more things. I found some old photos you might be interested in. I know Chris is watching. 2E0ILY. He'll probably like these because it's cars. When I was a lot younger, I was about 25. I had this. This is a rather nice little sports car. I had a Triumph TR4. That was one of my cars. I should have kept that because that would be worth a fortune now. And one of my other cars that I had was this. I used to like driving this. This is a Chevrolet Impala. It's actually a right-hand drive model. It's got a 4.7 litre V8 engine in it. But as I think Americans used to say, that was 283 cubic inches. Most of the time, it would only run on it was only running on 7 cylinders. If you started it and you drove it straight away, it was fine. But if you got stuck in traffic, one of the plugs kept oiling up. So anyway, I thought I'd just show you those. Anyway, I'm going to pass it round to where are we going round? Oh, round to Phil. M0 PIT to take G4 IMO.
Right, good afternoon, guys, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you are. Yeah, great net as always. Martin, doing a great job, mate. Stepping in. Yeah, you're doing a good job. We might take the mickey out of you a bit, but no, you're doing a good job, mate. As for Gary and all his kit, yeah, that's a great shame. I'm sure that if we were nearer, we would offer assistance if we could, but I'm afraid he's just a little bit too far away for that. And Nick, you talked about an Uno and it didn't have sufficient memory. If you did want to go down the Uno route, you've got this beast here, which I'll show you if I can find it. Where are we? I showed you before. Oh, I showed it to her. Here we go. Nucleo 64. Let's do the next one. That's the beast there. It's pin compatible, and it's I forget how much faster it is, but it's a damn sight. Oops, lost it. Sorry. And it's got more memory and it's a damn sight faster, but it is pin compatible, and they're less than 15 quid. So yeah, right. So that's that. What have I been up to? Oh, let's put the camera back. Where's my camera? There we go. There we go. What have I been up to? Well, it's domestic stuff. Haven't really had a great deal of time to do any work on the RF side, or on the electronics side. Yeah, there's work. I'm supposed to be retired. There's still work, even though I don't get paid for it. And then I'm going on my trip week Monday, so it's a lot of stuff to organise. Amongst all of that, I had a friend of mine who passed away, so I had a funeral to go to. So that's really what I've been up to. One thing that I have decided to do today, or not do today, that I've decided today to do, and that is to actually get my ProLiant server up and running, and I'm just going to use it as a backup storage device. I realise I've got a lot of a lot of programs, a lot of data that are sort of here, there and everywhere. And I decided I'm going to put it on a server. So I've ordered some second-hand drives for it today. So I've ordered 8 of those, which weren't very expensive. So that will be another little job, but it shouldn't take too long to do when I've got all the bits. But that's really it. That's all I've really been up to. I haven't really got nothing exciting to talk about or nothing exciting to show you. So it's just boring old stuff from me, I'm afraid. I'm sure Mike MJW has got some exciting stuff to talk about. So if you're ready, Mike, I shall hand over to you. I think Mike wants a few extra seconds before you can get it all running. So I'm going to hand it over to you then, Mike. This is M0PIT. I'm going to hand it over to Mike and put up a test card, as I should do, if I can find it. There we go.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Hopefully this is going to work. This is something different, actually. Trying to see if it's a network problem that was causing difficulty receiving. So I'm currently using this. And I've had 1 or 2 lockup problems. So this might not work very reliably, I'm afraid. Sorry if that's the case. But yeah, I don't know if you're still seeing me. Yeah, it looks like it's working. So if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm checking on checking on the winter hill that I'm still going out. But most of the bugs seem to have been resolved now, which is great. It's getting a lot better. Still some issues with video to be tied down, but generally it's working. Although I can see I'm getting receive errors, which implies maybe the USB isn't working as well as it should do. But it's that Libre SDR which you saw here, this thing. It's just a Pluto clone. I've got a Pluto as well, which I'll try too. And that is doing everything. It's doing the transmit and the receive at the same time. And to give you an idea of what it looks like, here you go. That's the stream, and you can see the latency by the rate at which I clone myself in the background. Simon's going to improve that, but working really well, I think. So there you go. All done in software. No need for hardware, and of course it will do it on any frequency that the Pluto will. So that is rather useful. Yeah, good point, Simon. Sorry, I'm using SDR TV. I thought if you've read the thing that we say what we're going to talk about. So this is Simon's SDR television program, and the latency is very low as well. Now the picture quality I think isn't quite as good as the script, but it's not far off. So there's a little bit there, maybe. It's all about what parameters you set in the encoder. It is using the NVIDIA graphics card in this case. Microsoft encoder is nowhere near as good as it is from the NVIDIA. And I guess that's because it's running on the graphics card rather than the CPU. So it's doing more processing. Yeah, so all really good. And yeah, there's 1 or 2 frame issues still, but
I do wonder actually, if you look at this USB connection, this is not so sure this is the best USB connector, but I don't have a long USB-C lead. I've got plenty of long leads that claim to be USB-C that aren't, but there's also the Ethernet, and the problem with the Ethernet is we might be losing packets. Not necessarily though, that's not been determined yet. With a gigabit Ethernet, probably okay, as long as there's nothing else going on. But with 100 megabits Ethernet, it's very much challenging it, all those samples being sent down the network and clashing with other things like security cameras or commanding the network. Okay, so it's been receiving fairly well for me. Hopefully it's been transmitting fairly well. And do let me know if there are any issues with the signal strength. I'm afraid I can't monitor quite as many things as I would normally monitor because I've got too many things to look at the moment. Like, for example, the chat. I'll just have a look at that. Excellent, Benno, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Right, who's next? Let's go on to Benno, PA3FBX, who's presumably watching this with interest. But yeah, it's definitely a lot better than it was last week. So very good, and better than the week before. Getting there. Right, PA3FBX, G0MJW.
So let's just listen if I hear some audio. I hear some audio from myself, and somewhere along the line I should have a camera. Alright. Hi guys. Hi Martin, thanks for the excellent work you do on representing Gary's well, the net, running the net, and I think yeah, we all chip in there. I think we'll be okay until Gary has sorted out his hardware issues. He must have. It will take some time, surely. Probably not everything is lying there on the shelf. Despite he has already a lot of stuff, but I know he's also very busy. So, nice video from Tasmania, and yeah, they are doing nice stuff over there, and big distances. Well, it's always nice to see what people do on the other sides of the world. To comment on Nick, great work, Nick. Yeah, I was going to point you on the Node-RED instance Tom made. I've played a little bit with that. It actually uses two Arduinos to control the encoder values and then talk with the Node-RED instance, and it's running all the hardware stuff there, and Node-RED is running on a Raspberry Pi. So you have a complete dedicated system. It only needs a little bit internet to update the data, the satellite data, obviously, but after that you can run it without any internet, and it runs flawlessly. And you can put all kind of displays on there, or even look with browsers on there. But you have found, I think, other solutions, Nick. So I think, yeah, that's great. And Mike, yeah, we are looking forward in beta testing or alpha testing that. If you need anyone else, or if Simon needs anyone else to put it on his system, if it's beyond alpha, just give me a signal, and I will put it through some stress test over here. No problem in that. Thanks, Paul, for the report. And yeah, I had 2 or 3 lockups. After 2 or 3 seconds, it automated restarted again the stream. So yeah, I think there are small stream issues, but that will be sorted out soon. What have I been up to? Well, first of all, last Monday we decided to go on the same way Martin showed. He's created a DATV Talkback channel, English obviously, and I think that's a good idea, and we have talked about it locally at several 2 or 3 groups, and we decided also to have a local number, which is obviously for the Dutch DATV, and it would be fun if that would be used more. It's operational, it works, and it's meant for the Dutch hams or anyone else want to contact with the Dutch hams. And it will be also able to connect through to 2 meters or to whatever other frequencies supplied. Probably it will come out several streams on the DATV as well eventually. So that's the advertising of that. On Tuesday I got a nice, someone sent me this file, and I wanted to print that to get one of my L-Star modems in there. So this took about 8 hours for my printer. I don't have the fastest printer, and then only had to find out that it doesn't fit. It's too small. Something went wrong with, but it took me to get an idea, and I quickly created this myself after learning a steep learning curve. And this is the box for 23 SAMs. There's a 23 SAMs icon in there, and it will do the 23 output on this node number. Well, not on this node number, but on the second port. So this is one of my achievements this week. It's not completely ready because it needs the small antenna adaptation. It will come out here, and then there's a lid which is obviously here, and it will fit in on there, creating a small box for this loose part. It was already lying for about 4 or 5 weeks on here, so that's about what I did. Only to find out that to print this it takes 20 or 15 hours or something, which is not a problem. besides being very noisy in my shack. So I am building at the moment one cabinet around my 3D printer, and that's all in 1 week. Yeah, so no, I haven't used Fusion or FreeCAD. I'm actually using Tinkercad at the moment. I've tried FreeCAD a few times and I've stopped it. So I will try with Tinkercad now, and maybe in the future. Well, Fusion is easy, so much is easy. I think FreeCAD is also very nice, but like I have tried, well, 2 or 3 days with FreeCAD over the last week or so, and I said, well, it's not my hobby to draw these kind of things, and Tinkercad takes me about, well, 10 minutes, 15, well, an hour to create this, if you have all the information, because the first one was this, was very nice, but only 1 centimeter off, and that's why I couldn't get the handy in there. But then again, it's a learning curve and it's fun, I would say. Well, Fusion maybe I have to look into. FreeCAD is another, and I think it will take a lot of effort to get one of those things. In the end, it starts to get new hobbies, and like All-Star is something I was afraid of in January, or in when did I start with it? Well, I infected a lot of people in my area, and it takes a lot of time, but it's fun and it works, and that's a good thing. Okay, that's about it. What I did over the last week, which was enough. I just hope next week it will be very similar. Passing it on to all the way to Brazil, from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. Passing it on to you, Phil. Sorry, Ed. Passing it on to you from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray, and as far as I can tell, you're the last one on the list for today. Passing it back to Martin after. From PA 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. And the frequency is all yours, Ed.
Hey, could you put up these shelves?
No.
Hey, are you busy? Could you put up these shelves?
No, I don't know how to put up shelves.
Don't you have tools? Are you busy?
I have scissors.
Well, you're a guy. I assumed you could do it.
That's sexist.
Oh, you fixed the printer?
Actually, I bought a new one. I never told you.
You can't do anything manual?
When my last girlfriend's car got a flat tire, I broke up with her. When my last girlfriend's car got a flat tire...
Could you at least hang the towel rack?
Nope.
My dad could do that.
So could mine. You should call one of them.
My dad could do that.
So could mine. You should call one of them.
My dad could do that.
Yeah, guys, I don't know, but what happened with this camera? I don't know, but let me try another camera. What happened with this camera? Let me try another camera. Polycom. Let me try another camera. I'm afraid. Polycom. Let me try another camera. I'm afraid it's also not working. I don't know. Yeah, it's not working. I don't have any camera working here. Yeah, I don't know why. It's not working. I have no idea. It should be working. I don't know why. It's not working. I have no idea. But it should be working. I have two instances of what is the name? I have two instances of OBS running. What is the name? But OBS running. What is the name? No, yeah, camera is not working. So thank you very much for the net. Very nice net, and I'll pass back to Mr. G8 QOE from Papa Yankee to Radio November. Not even know. I hope you guys are hearing me, but I don't have any camera working. I don't know. It's OBS issues, and it's OBS issues. I really don't know. So G8 QOE, back to you from Papa Yankee to Romeo November. G8 QOE, back to you from Papa Yankee to Romeo.
Well, you certainly had audio twice. I think it was at least twice. At least twice. It was going round and round in circles. When you started off, I thought your pictures were absolutely stunning. It sort of went down from then on. But if you get something fixed and you want to pop up, then and say something somewhere. I'll try and keep an eye on things. Yeah, it was good. I've made loads of notes. But I'll probably start on the one Mike's side of things first. I was looking at you there, Mike, on OpenTuner, which I got VLC, MPV, and FFmpeg. VLC suffered a lot of POC errors, which is what I suffered the other day. The other two locked in fine with you, and also the ride was locking in pretty well okay with glitches, but nothing much. But OpenTuner, VLC, lots of POC errors. Now I had that problem severely because the clock would stop, which is why I put a clock in. And I changed from 15 frames per second to 30, and the clock then started running. But anyway, now Benno was also suffering with POC errors, quite badly in VLC, but was okay in the others. I didn't, and also on the stream it was okay. But yeah, it's interesting. But Leon will have disappeared, I think, and if Rob's still there, VK3IF, he's going to watch this on the rerun. Don't forget to send us more links, and Nick wants to know when the net is. That used to be the early morning net or whatever over there. Is it still run? So if you could chunk a link across to me or to him or to whatever, then we can go with that. And Nick, your tracking, dish controlling side of things, I think absolutely amazing. Me and numbers have actually we don't get on at all well. I can just imagine the nightmare I'd have, with trying to do this side of things. It's been stressful, to put it mildly, but that controller and having seen your dish in the past, etc., I wouldn't know where to start. It's way beyond me. And Phil, thanks for the good wishes. Yeah, I know there's a lot of tit tat between us, but it's all in fun. Yeah, Mike, I've done, and Benno. Yeah, there's a bit of fan noise there, but nothing to worry about. I'm assuming you're using that desk mic you sorted out during the week. But yeah, All Star. I don't know where you got the idea from, but I think it was a good idea, and the amount of criticism that I got, it, didn't see the point of it, etc. from somebody, and I can't think who that was, but no, it's good, and yeah, I'm just with the SR2 repeater and with All Star. The SR2 repeater, one thing that has been great as far as I'm concerned is that I get VK boys coming through and giving information. Then later on, Mario's around in San Diego, so I get bits and pieces from him. I'll try and grab some bits that he's putting through, which are impressive, to put it mildly. But I'm happy to sort of sit here and keep my fingers crossed for anybody that wants to carry on for another net. So I think it's Nick, if you'll take it. We're going to try this. So we see how we go. But right, let's listen to something in my earpiece so I know what I'm saying. Right, over to Nick, if you're there, from G8KOE.
Yeah, okay, Martin. I left a pause there because I didn't know whether Leon was coming back. Yeah, okay, Martin. I left a pause there because I didn't turn that down. Yeah, I didn't know whether Leon would be. I think he may have gone, mightn't he? Anyway, I shall make this my last one, I think. Excuse me. Right, I made a few notes that time. Let me have a look here. Phil, the Nucleo 64. I wish I'd have known that. I have this Arduino Uno R3, which I tried to use with the K3NG software, but when you tell it what protocol you're going to use, i.e. EasyCom in my case, and you then try and compile it, it just comes back and says it hasn't got enough memory. So because I'm not very experienced with Arduinos, and in fact I should say that this is the first ever Arduino which I've ever used. Anyway, so it's been a very steep learning curve, but I did a bit of searching on the internet, and apparently the Uno R4, which has more capacity, more memory, which also is pin compatible, and it said that it would run your existing software on the R3. So I thought, I'll just order one of those, and I did, and but it is not compatible for some reason. So I couldn't sort that out because my lack of knowledge, I'm afraid. So anyway, that was that. But anyway, yeah, I'm quite happy with the system that I've got going at the moment. As I say, it's only using the standard Uno R3, and it seems to work very well. So that's quite good. Yeah, the Chevrolet Impala. Yeah, I used to take that out on a Sunday afternoon. You remember on a Sunday when all the shops, everything was shut, and you take it out for a nice Sunday afternoon drive, and there was hardly any traffic. But yeah, I wouldn't fancy driving something like that round here. The roads are far too narrow now, anyway, to drive something like that. It's a shame, great shame. Yeah, Mike, the SDR TV, yeah, that was very good. It's quite noticeable that the quality isn't quite as sharp. But am I right in assuming you're using a Pluto? And is that receiving and transmitting at the same time? Because if it is, that's quite impressive, isn't it? It's quite good. If it can receive and transmit at the same time, presumably you could work duplex if the latency wasn't so long. I don't know, but anyway, it was good. Yeah, on your transmission, I think it dropped out of maybe twice or three times, but yeah, it's almost there. It's almost working. Very good. Excellent. That. Oh yeah, and I did try. I looked at Tom's ZR. Is it ZR4TG? His rotator software, and I did actually try that. I looked at his website, and it's divided into part 1 and part 2. Part 1, I read that, and I thought, oh yeah, this is easy, this is straightforward, and I loaded up the software, and I could type commands on the computer like azimuth and elevation, and it would control it, and that worked very well. But it was the part 2 that completely lost me. Talking about node red and various other things, I just couldn't understand it. I'm afraid it was far too complex for me. But as I say, I had never used or tried to program an Arduino before, so that was it. So anyway, so as I say, I've got a working system now, so I just need to calibrate it, and as I say, hopefully the sun will come out in a few weeks' time, and then we can see how accurate it is. So that'll be quite good. Right, I think that's about it. I think so. I'm going to say cheerio to everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Who do I pass it? I'll pass it round to Phil. Round to you, Phil. M0PIT to take G for IMO.
Right, just keep an eye on my power levels. My PA is cold, and the levels change as it warms up, so I just got to keep an eye on it. There you go. Nick, the other option that you could have had was to go and use an Arduino Mega. The software should run on it. It should run. Might not, but it should do. But it will give you more memory, and it's 5 volt as well, whereas the Nucleo, its outputs and inputs are 3 volt, so that would have been a bit of a problem possibly. But anyhow, but you're happy with what you got, fine. Mike, yeah, I'm quite interested in what you're playing around with. I think it's on a Pluto Plus, which I don't have, but I'm thinking of getting a clone because they're much cheaper. But I run Linux, as you know, and I have no idea if the software will run on Linux. But if you guys want somebody to do some testing, I'm more than happy to get involved. But it will be on a Linux platform. It might run under Wine, which is a Windows emulation. It might. No guarantee of that. But the offer is there. But I am interested in the project, so when I get back, I think I might invest in a Pluto Plus, unless you advise me different. Right, I think that's really all I've got to say. Great net as always. Thanks, Martin, for hosting it. Yeah, we do rib each other quite a bit, but it's all in good spirits. It's all in good spirits. But yeah. Right then, Mike. I'm going to hand it over to you. So this is M0PIT. Handing over to G0MJW. So there you go, Mike. I'm going to kill my carrier and it's all yours, mate. Oh, I better put a test card up first.
It's a different Pluto. So, spot the difference. Quite easy, really. It's not this one anymore. It's just a standard Pluto in a metal box. And we'll see if that works any better, or whether they're the same. I don't know. Yeah, okay. No, there's no chance whatsoever it running in Linux, I'm afraid, Phil. It uses most of the Windows operating system to do what it's doing, so I'm afraid you'll have to convert to Windows if you want to do it in software. Don't think there's any chance of a bit like SDR console, that won't run in Linux either, at least not that I'm aware of. It might run in a virtual machine though, I don't know. Well, maybe that would slow it down. Yeah, okay, not a lot to add, but interesting that. I forgot to comment on the Australian thing. I've seen that before, but it's good that they're getting out and doing things. I did not see the drop bears, I didn't see the cassowaries, and I didn't see any poisonous spiders or any other of the many lethal species that habit the outback in Australia. So they seem to have survived that particular event quite well and made a 500k QSO on 10 gigahertz, which is quite a long way, so well done. Yeah, Simon's gone out to things to do, so it will slow down a bit for a while, but I expect these remaining little issues will be sorted out. Some of them are and some of them are possibly even QRM, so it's hard to tell. But the question was, does it work duplex? And I would have thought that was obvious from the picture I showed earlier, which is this one. Receiving me a few seconds later, and of course it's feeding back on itself in the traditional fashion. So that gives you an idea of the latency. It's about 4 seconds at the moment, but we'll get better. And yeah, of course the quality of the picture is not really the software, it's the encoder and how that's tuned. So it's very tightly I've got a very tightly tuned script which seems to do a bit better than this, but not that much better, and it's still quite watchable. The problems occur when you start to send material that requires more bandwidth than the system can cope with, and that particularly happens. I mean, Martin was doing that on his Australian video the first time he tried to show it, I think, and also when people move the cameras about and things. So if I turn this camera, it might, you know, the whole scene will shift. Actually, it probably would compensate for that, but it does put a lot of data, so you'd be seeing some rather boring videos, bunny and a 3D printer, and we're looking to see how well it actually with timing and things, but that's been sorted. So this program does a lot more, which we can already do. Mockups there, you see. It will transmit and receive LDPC decoding. It's also doing the video. You can use a camera or you can use OBS. Seem to work with the virtual camera. You do need to use AB audio codec, and that all seems to work, apart from the odd glitch every now and again, which I'm certainly seeing on my receive signal. So there's a lot to be going on, there, and the CPU load is pretty good actually. If I look at it now, just check, it's running at about 5 or 6% CPU load on this admittedly quite fast Radeon PC, but it almost works on my old tablet. But of course, that's not really ideal because it doesn't have the video encoding, and that is, you know, a very old CPU. But if you're still running a Windows 7 PC or XP or Linux, then no, I'm afraid not. Okay, not much else to add from my side, but Simon has done all the work, not me. I'm just testing it, just to be clear. And let's hold on to whoever's next, which I think is probably Benno again, isn't it? So Benno, add to you, G0MJW, different test card.
I forgot to switch off the audio, the sound feedback. Okay, nice signal, Mike. Yeah, some dropouts, but there must be, I think. I think that you will solve those. I always find a nice movie of some sea boat which goes over the waves. That's a lot of moving pixels on the screen. That will surely lock up any video stream if you have a little bit bandwidth resources. I'm looking at someone has look on the big tally. He should probably see all the images, but he's looking via YouTube, so he must be lazy. Well, anyway, nice round, nice net, and I think everyone is busy with his stuff. Yeah, Node-RED is something you have to start. Well, that's a completely different story. The thing is, I managed. Well, I learned myself Node-RED, Nick, just because I found it very helpful to do that on various systems, because it runs on a Windows machine, it runs on a Raspberry machine, and the programming itself is going on the fly. You don't need any other tools. Just run it on a system, and then on a server, and then go with a browser to it and change whatever you want. Just upload, and then everything works again, or it doesn't. But that's Node-RED, and I started into Node-RED a couple of years ago when I wanted to control the local repeater, and I saw the issue of remote. Well, I didn't want to go to the repeater with the laptop to change something in the software. I wanted to have it via browser, via internet, on the fly, and that works so flawlessly. And then I started so this way I started to go into Node-RED, and even DATV Red is running on Node-RED, and I think it's if you start understanding how it works, you can easily adapt and change anything to what you want. But yeah, if it's new to you, that's a completely different story, and then it must be difficult. But YouTube is very helpful there, Nick. So yeah, and tracking satellites is something still on my wish list, but it takes a lot of time, and up to that now I have done, I have made one system for tracking at least this satellite, and I didn't even make it with Node-RED. I made it with one Arduino only, and that's it's not tracking actually, it's just rotating, and even that was challenging enough. Okay, well, that's basically it. Have a nice week all, and I understand Ed has solved his camera problems, so nice video, Ed. I've seen similar ones here in Holland, but yeah, that's not a good thing for us hams. We normally are more than capable doing too much anyway, which will take all the time for doing everything in the house. 73 is all from PA3 Fox Bravo X-ray, passing it on to to Ed, all the way to Brazil from PA3 Fox Bravo X-ray. Bye bye.
One, two, three, audio. Yeah, I'm not sure if we are all capable of everything, Benno. I may hire someone to deal with OBS here for me. Oh boy, it's really a pain, this OBS stuff. Let me see if I'm doubling my audio. No, it sounds okay. I think it sounds okay. But very nice. Unfortunately, that's going to be my first over because, but many people left already. So, but I wish to thank Martin, G8 QOE, for hosting the net. Also say hello to Leon, but go on. Nick, very interesting topic, the rotator controller. I think I missed which rotator actually you're gonna try to control, but maybe next net you can tell, because that's quite interesting. For Phil, very good transmission. Your fireplace, that bothers me a little bit, because we are more than 30 Celsius here, and I see your fireplace always, burning, and give me more. That gets me, very, very hot. Feel hot, but it's okay. Mike, thanks for reporting for SDR TV. Very interesting. That would be one of my questions. If you have tested already with the original Pluto, you just did it, and I can tell you that the first 3/4 of your transmission, there were no glitches. I mean, so that's the issue. The original Pluto is better than Libre, but no, your last quarter of your transmission was also impacted. So I think there is no performance difference between the original Pluto with the clone. But it's working fine. That's great transmission, great image quality. I have nothing to say about the quality. It's great, very great. Benno, also great little boxes you made there for All-Star Network. That's good. Sometime I'm gonna play with that as well. Wish to say hello to the guys in the YouTube watching us. Starting with Alfredo. Ciao, Alfredo. Abraço, tudo de bom para você. Italy Kilo 1 Charlie Oscar Alpha. Ari, Tango Fox 1 Alpha. which is going to be operating from North Pole in an isolated island in the summer. So hope we can contact you there, Ari. Regina, Delta Golf 5 Fox Mike. Oh, there is a guy here that I never heard about. Gary Immelman. I don't know from where, but anyway, hello Gary. Hope you can get your station back up again soon. Let us know if you need any help. Also to Michael, Papa Echo 1 Mike Sierra Whiskey. Nigel, 2 Echo 0 Echo Hotel. Long time I don't see you here on the net, Nigel. Hope you come back soon. Joel, 9 Hotel 1 Golf Tango, which I saw some transmission, very nice transmissions here on the ATV, Joel. So hopefully you can join the net soon. Who else? Ismail, Delta Lima 2 India Echo. Peter, Delta Kilo 3 Zulu Foxo, 73 to all. Nice to see you guys. I'm feeding our regular DATV Net YouTube channel. That's the reason for all the confusions with the OBS here. But anyways, at least I think the streaming was not affected. Okay, thank you all. 73. Have a nice upcoming week. And I pass back to Martin, Golf 8 Kilo Oscar Echo. So thank you very much. Microphone to you and camera, Martin.
Yeah, from G8KOE. I feel guilty now, Ed, that you've only had one go. I think the only thing is to pass it straight back to you to have a second go from G8KOE.
Did get that, Martin? But back to you. I'm not sure if I got the wrong call sign, but the G8 KOE, G8 KOE. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Back to you.
No, it's me being silly there, Ed. I said I felt guilty being you only had one go, so I passed it back to you, so you had two goes now. So, all good. So don't take any notice of me. And yeah, well, I've survived this this net, which I enjoyed actually, but it was quite stressful. And to you then, Mike, on your second lot of tests, which was with the proper Pluto, I found it worse than the original. It was dropping out quite badly on the ride with me, and on various others it would drop out and then come back. Whereas the phone as such or whatever would mainly drop out on the VLC side on OpenTuner. Everybody seems to get things differently, but anyway. Right, well, thank everybody for popping up, and let's go and sit in a dark room now and have a so I'll put up a test card and close the worldwide net, and see you again soon from G8KOE.